Hi, my name is Alex, and I will be showing you how to set up a React Native project. In this video, you will learn how to set up an AVD. You will learn how to start off developing in React Native, and also you will also be able to learn how to use Expo. So, and I will also explain why the choice of some of the technologies that I'm going to be helping you understand. So first, why did I choose React? So React is a very famous framework out there, and it's something which you can do as a developer, as a front-end developer, and it's cross-platform. That means that you can do an Android app, you can do an iOS, and you can also do a PWA. So it's quite a very interesting language to learn. And let's head over. So we'll start over with what we'll be doing in this video. So it will be a mixture of two. We will start off with just normal explanations, and also later you learn how to do it through the terminal. So in this video I'll be using a MacBook, but it's more or less the same as the other operating system. I'll just touch on now what you need to do, especially with other applications. So we will start with explaining how you're going to be installing Android Studio, and how you will be able to start up your AVD. So in this video we'll be using an AVD, but later on in other videos I will show you how to set it up on your mobile phone. So yeah, in this video we'll just focus on explaining it on the AVD, that is a virtual device. So also I will also show you how to install LTS of Node. So basically React Native runs on the primarily on Node. So Node it's like the engine which runs this framework. So, and I will also show you how you can know if your laptop is ready for development. So, and later I'll show you how to install React. Basically this will be the easiest of the four steps, and also we'll do some code on the VS Code, and later now we'll be using in the video. So start off, I'll be showing you where you can get Address Studio. So Address Studio, it's an application developed by Google. So this helps those who do directly Java or Kotlin to be able to bootstrap or build applications from zero to end. And this application basically primarily will be installing it into our laptops to be able to use the AVD provided by the application. For some other, you can choose, it's just freestyle. You can choose to do the Android Studio way, or you can just install the SDK tools. Although for my side, I prefer you just do the Android Studio because it doesn't give you a lot of stress when starting off, especially with the setup. And also we will see more details of what Android Studio is here, but for now we'll be starting with the downloads. So once you run developer.android.com, I'll also be sharing it on the chat. You will see, okay, the browser will automatically know the operating system we'll be using, and then you'll be able to just click directly. For me, I should be downloading for the M1 chip. So right now I'm running on the Apple chip, not the Intel. But you actually be able to see instructions from the website. After this, so after downloading this, now you go on to installing. I'll show you how you'll be able to install it, and then start off your AVD. So what happens with Android Studio, if you install it with the normal settings, you will get a very good AVD. which is easy for the laptop, both the processing and everything. So it will be easy to build on it, even with a laptop with not very high specs, but I would recommend you do 16 GB of RAM and memory of more than 256 GB. So after that, we'll head on to Java. So the reason why we need Java is Java is what it will be able to run. So for example, if you write code, it's actually compiled to Java so that it can run on Android. And this is where we'll be download Java. You can choose any of them. So any of them can be run on the latest Android version. This is Android 11 and up. So for this, we'll be downloading Java 21. For me, I'm operating with Java 21. This is quite easy. After downloading, you just click down install. That is, you just install it like another application or another package. So after that, we will go on to installing Node. So for the Node, this will be done on the terminal for the Mac users. So if you are on Linux, if you're using an Linux distro, you just run this command. So it's just so easy. You just pull it directly from the internet. So you just you can do sudo apt install node at 18. So if you're using Linux, you can just follow that, but for now we'll be downloading Node 18 for MacBook users. So this will be basically for MacBook users. So if you don't want to install a Node and have some issues with the access, sometimes there are many ways, but the most recommended one is this, where you just install Homebrew. I know each and every Mac user understand Homebrew, so and I will be able to do a call on how to install Homebrew. But basically, you just come here. Let me show you on the browser how to install Homebrew. So it's easy. You just go here. You just do Homebrew. Then specifically you go to brew.sh. After that, you will find the first sh. This is just a command which you just copy. You just click here, copy it, and then you go back to the terminal. You just one time, then you just come to terminal and then you paste it. After pasting it and clicking enter, you will get the next steps. For example, how you activate it to use your Zish. So after that, we will go on to installing a Node. So you do brew install Node at 18. So for right now, this is the LTS. LTS means it's stable for now. This is the only version which is stable. So I would recommend always to use the LTS, because the newer ones might have some bugs, or not really bugs, but might crash while you are working. So but the LTS is long-term support. So this is supported for some time, and you know that it's actually stable. So those are the steps. So now we have learned how to install Node, how to install Android Studio. Now we can go on now to build something. So this is one of the steps which you will see in Android Studio, where you just, after clicking the file, the DMG that you download from the net, you just drag and drop it to the applications. So the next step that we'll be going is to try and build an application. So not really building an application, but starting an application. So for this, I'll be able to show you how you'll be able to start an application, and maybe do an edit. One of it, we do a simple edit to see whether it's working. And these steps, it's good to always come back and see how we did it, and then be able to do it by yourself, because later we'll be using it to build some other applications. So we have a bunch of projects we should be working on, real life applications. For example, we'll be building a store on an app where you'll be able to see product details, and also be able to add the cart. So for this project, it's very important to just learn the basics first, and then be able to start it off. So for this project, I will be working with the major steps which I will be doing here are from this website, react.dev. So react.dev will give you each and every step that you need while you're developing. It will actually give you most of the things that you need. You don't need to worry. So this is where I'm getting most of the information that I'll be sharing here. But for now, we won't be using React Native CLI, because what happens with React Native CLI, it will need us to install Xcode so that we can set up the dev for the iOS. So if we do the React Native CLI, we will be getting some errors with Coca pods, because sometimes Coca pods will need Xcode installed for the Mac OS. So for now, we'll just focus on Mac OS and then Android. For the Android, you'll see many steps. For example, you'll see brew install node. These are some of the steps which you'll be doing. For example, and the most recommended one is brew install node. So if you do brew install node, you will be installing the latest node version, which is 20.7. And I recommend you specify the node version you're installing. Then Watchman is just a tracker of any changes in the code. So this is one of the first things which is recommended. Then next, now that we have done Java Development Kit, we have got an easier way to gig this. So the easiest way is just install Android Studio and install Java and be able to run some commands. I will show you some of the commands which you need to run. So after that, let me just show you some of the commands which will enable you to be able to run on the Android app, or to be able to boot up with the AVD. So you have some exports. So basically, it's just writing on the Zsh profile, or to be able to access it on the terminal. So one of the commands will be export. This is now after you have installed the Android Studio, you have tried you have installed Java, and you have tried to start off with the AVD. So this is one of the commands which you run. We just have 3 of them. So just droid, then export. I think you export Android. I think just have some little labs here. So let me just copy paste it, because it seems I have some lags. So once we do that, we'll be able to run this command. So this is one of the commands which you are supposed to run. Let me actually write them here on top. Let me just type them instead of running them, because I've already run them on my computer. So yeah, this is one of the commands which you need to run. You export and library Android SDK. So this is SDK. These are platform tools. You also import them to your Zsh profile. So this means that you'll be able to access them through the terminal. And also you have the emulator and the platform tools. So after that, let me just delete this. This is just for explanation how you're supposed to be done. So you run each and every command on the terminal. STR. So next, now the last step is us being able to start an app. So for me, I think I've done all the steps, and now we can create an app, and then let's try it and see whether it works for us. So for me, I prefer Yarn. For some others, you might be preferring npm. So it's just it's just the same thing. You can actually use Yarn or npm, but Yarn, it has some advantages which I'll be sharing in the next videos. So we'll do Yarn create expo dash app, and then we'll do YouTube demo. Let's do that, and then once we do that, and then we can just use the camel case way, the JavaScript way, and now we just create. So what happens here is create. It's a command which will now pull some of the libraries which you need from the internet, and then install it for you. For example, you'll see for this project we are using Create Expo 2.11. It's installed locally for this specific project, so this is not global, so it will not eat on it is not going to be eaten on our processing. So it's just made for this specific project. And then you will see some warnings. So these are just some of the packages which are existing in Create Expo app, and which have not been updated. So with time you notice this is going to be removed, but there's a command which you can add to just remove the warnings. So basically this won't have any impact when we'll be developing the app. So let's give it some a minute or two, and then we can see. So so once that is done, you will notice we'll now be able to CD to the YouTube demo one, and then after we go to that YouTube demo one, we run yarn start. So that's the specific command that we need to be able to start it on AVD. If you want to use it with your phone, then you are supposed to scan a QR code which opens on the Expo app. I think this is almost done. Give it a second. So, and yes, we are done. So so you will get some more steps here, as you can see. So if you want to run on iOS, you just yarn iOS. If you want to run on web, and if you want to run Android. So this is one of the major strengths of React Native. You can do cross-platform products, as I said some minutes before. So you can run on Android, you can run on iOS. So once we are done with the installation and everything, and creating the files which are needed, you will notice we have the .expo file here. We have the VS Code, we have the assets, basically the assets where we have the images, we have the files, and then we have the node modules, and then you'll also notice that we have Up.js. So this is where we will just be writing something for now. So after that, after we have done that, so the next step will be booting up our AVD. This is VS Code. Let me just show you how it looks like. So you just click on more actions, then virtual device manager, and then you will see our Google 3A Pixel 3A API here, and then you just click on the play button. So it will open the AVD. So after that, after you have opened the AVD, let's give it some time for it to boot. Nice. So we go back to our code, and then we run our code, which is yarn start, and then we just click enter. So we are now booting our app. So it's like we are trying to compile it, or we are trying to build up our dev environment. So I'll show you how it looks like. Let's see how it looks like once we are done. So let's give it some minutes. It's already on. So the next step will be, we want to run it on Android right now. If you have iOS, you can just download Expo Go app and then scan this QR. You'll be able to see it on your iOS. And still for Android users, you can still do the same. Download the Expo Go app and then scan this. So for now, let's run the Android app. You'll notice that we will be download Expo Go on our Pixel 3 API. This is now the AVD that we booted. Let me just show you how it looks like. This one here. So you'll notice we will install the app here. Once we are done, then we'll see how it looks like. So let's go back to this. You can see we have installed and then we have booted the Expo Go app. So once it has booted, then you will see this. You'll see the app will look like that. You can just click continue, then you can close here. Then you'll see open Up.js to start coding. So this is the default the default text you'll get on the app. So let's just do some little tweaks. Let's just write something crazy. Let's say I am coding. I am React Native maniac, and I will start writing code today. So once we type it there, if you go to the other app, it's actually real time. As you type, you can see it. If you do an error, you'll be able to see the errors. So thank you so much for reaching for being able to come up to here and being able to follow up on everything that we have done on that video. So I would really want to understand what you want to learn in the next video. So just do some comments. Just do comments there, and then I will be able to do a video. So thank you. See you in the next video.